So we will see how to analyze for the feed section. Okay, so for this we have to consider the entire column. Overall balance is F is D plus W. Component balance is FZF is DXD plus WXW. And this is the overall enthalpy balance. This we had seen earlier also. QL is the heat losses and they are assumed to be 0. So we are getting this as the expression for the whole column. So there is an FHF term for enthalpy, there is WHW term, there is a QB term, these two are put together, and there is DHD and QC term. This is for the top of the column, so this is put together, right? So DHD plus QC, WHW minus QB. Okay, so there is a term that we had seen, which can relate these terms, and there is another term which can relate these three terms. Okay, can you remember those? Let us see. So we have FHF is WHW minus QB plus DHD plus QC. I can use D into Q dash for DHD plus QC. So this term can be represented as D into Q dash because Q dash is DHD plus QC by D, right? So for these two we can substitute D into Q dash, and we can substitute for HWW minus QB. For this term we are going to substitute W into Q dash. Okay, so this term will be substituted for these two terms. So I will get an expression which is FHF is DQ dash plus WQ double dash. Alright, so from the overall balance and the component balance, if I eliminate the feed term, F term, and in place of F I put the D plus W, then I can get the ratio D by W as ZF minus XW by XD minus ZF. Okay. And from F equal to D plus W and equation 7, which represents the enthalpy balance, I will eliminate F term and substitute D plus W here and find out what is D by W. I will get HF minus Q double dash divided by Q dash minus HF. So feed operating line is given by this D by W. And it is equation 8 and equation 9 are written together. So they are giving us this expression, and if I look at this expression, it can be represented, this operating line, it can be represented as a straight line whose coordinates are, one of the coordinate is ZF, HF, XW, Q double dash and XT, Q dash. In this XW and Q double dash, what is this point? XW, Q double dash. This point is delta W. What is the point XT and Q dash? The coordinate where this is XT and it is Q dash, this point is the difference point delta D. So one is delta D, another is delta W, okay, and the third point is ZF, HF. So it is the feed point ZF and the enthalpy of feed, okay. So that point. So all these 3 points, the two difference point and this feed point, they lie on a straight line, and that is the operating line for feed. So we have ZF point. If the feed is a saturated liquid, or the feed is at its bubble point, then this will lie here on the saturated liquid. If it is subcooled feed, then it will lie in this region. If it is a mixture of liquid and vapor, the feed point will lie over here. If it is a saturated vapor, the feed will lie here. If the feed is superheated vapor, the feed point will lie over here. Okay, let us say that the feed is at its bubble point or the feed is saturated liquid. So this is the feed point. Okay, so this point, delta D, delta W, they are going to be joined with a straight line, and that line is the feed operating line. Okay, this blue color line is the feed operating line. So we saw how we can get this delta D point from the external reflux ratio. Okay, how to get this delta W value? So what we can do to get this delta W value, this difference point? We know this feed point. This delta D point, if I join to this feed point and extend it on XW line, I will get this difference point delta W. So I will get this difference point also. So once I know this difference point, I can draw my operating lines and find out the number of stages in stripping section. So let us see what we have done till now and what is this Ponchon-Savarez method. So we have to plot HXY diagram, and in this we will plot HLX, we will plot HGY. The details of this, they are given in another presentation, how to plot HLX and HGY. If you want to know more details, you can see enthalpy concentration diagram discussion. Mark feed point, mark distillate point. So this is where xt is equal to x0 equal to y1. Mark the bottom residue composition xw. Then bring this xd point up to the saturated liquid. So if your distillate is a saturated liquid, your D and L0 point lies there. Then that gives you the enthalpy HD and HL0. Find out this B value straight up, that will be the difference between D and G1 point. Okay, so above that is the line length is A, that depends on the reflux ratio. The reflux ratio is given in the problem, then using that reflux ratio value you find out what will be A. So once A is known, you know that Y coordinate is obtained for the enthalpy, which is Q dash. So XD and this Q dash point intersection will give the delta D difference point. Okay, here we have G1 point. Then this G1 point is obtained. G1 is a saturated liquid, so it has got the same composition as XT and X0. So G1 and L1, they are in equilibrium, so draw a tie line. So from L1 you draw a line to delta D. The intersection of this operating line to HG line will give you the G2 point. Okay, this is the operating line. Then L2 is obtained from equilibrium data. So draw a tie line between G2 L2, join L2 to delta D, get the intersection point G3, get L3 point from equilibrium data, draw a tie line, draw operating line, get point G4. Okay, L4 is obtained from equilibrium data, so draw a tie line, join L4 to delta D, intersection is G5, draw another tie line. This tie line is crossing the feed line, feed section, right? So mark this feed point. If feed is a saturated liquid, then the feed will lie on HLX line. Okay, so mark XW and the W point. The bottom product is recovered as a saturated liquid, so that will also lie on HL line at XW point. So that enthalpy is HW. join delta D to the feed point and extend it to XW line. So the intersection of these two will give you the Q double dash coordinate, and that is the difference point delta W. So this W is at composition XW. So the equilibrium vapor composition is obtained from the equilibrium plot. So mark that point as G dash n plus 1. Draw a tie line from W to G dash n plus 1. Then join G dash n plus 1 to delta W. The intersection with HL line is L dash n. Okay, so that is the operating line. Then from equilibrium data, find out the Y composition for the corresponding L dash n point. Okay, join them by a tie line, join G dash to delta W point. The intersection with HL line will give you the L dash n plus 1 point. Okay, find out Gm plus 1 dash from the equilibrium data. So join L dash m plus 1, G dash m plus 1 with a tie line. Then draw the operating line. Okay. So this is how we continue this process. All these operating lines, they are shown as yellow color lines here. The pink color tie lines, they are the stages in enriching section. The green color tie lines are the stages in stepping section. Count these tie lines which are joining L1 G1, L2 G2 and similar points. That will be the number of stages. So here the total number of ideal stages, it is obtained as 8. So you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. The 8th stage is, it also considers this XW composition, which is the composition of the liquid coming out of reboiler. So the last stage, last tie line, this is representing the reboiler, kettle type reboiler. This is the kettle type reboiler. Okay, so total number of ideal stages or theoretical stages or equilibrium stages by Ponchon-Savret method from this diagram is equal to 8. This includes kettle type reboiler. Let us see the conditions of total reflux. So external reflux ratio, we remember that as it is L0 by D is equal to line A by line B. So what happens in total reflux? So under total reflux condition, your reflux value, it is increased very high. Okay, so that means in L0 by D, L0 is increased very high, it is infinite. So almost all this reflux is sent back into the column. So that is the total reflux condition. Okay, so what happens to the ratio of line A by line B? The numerator, which is this line A, that length is infinite. Line A is infinite, so that means your delta D difference point, it goes to infinite distance, it moves up. And because this delta D, F and delta W, they lie on same line. So if this delta D goes up to an infinite distance, this delta W will go down to an infinite distance. So if that happens, if delta D is located infinitely high and delta W is located infinitely low, then all operating lines will be vertical. Let us see this graphically. Plot HXY, plot HLX, plot HGY, mark XW, mark W point, mark ZF, mark XT, get the feed point, get the D point. Here all W, F and D, they are saturated liquids. This is B. The reflux ratio is line A by B. Okay, if total reflux condition, your reflux ratio is infinity. Okay, so B is fixed, so A is infinity, right? So extend this line from xt equal to x0 to this delta D. A is going to infinity, right? So your q dash coordinate has moved to infinity. So this delta D will, A is going to infinity, so delta D is going to infinity. If delta D goes to infinity, what happens to delta W? Because this delta D is connected to feed point and then it is connected to this. If this is in infinity, then delta W also goes down to infinity. So in that case, if difference points are infinitely distant away from all these points over here, then your operating lines are going to be vertical, right? So from this G1 point, we will draw the tie line from the equilibrium data. This is stage 1, but the operating line is vertical, okay, because delta D is at infinity. So this is going to give me the G2 point. So for this G2, I will get L2 from the equilibrium data. And again I will draw another vertical line that will give me G3 and draw a tie line. This tie line from the equilibrium data I will get this point. And the operating line is vertical. Draw vertical operating lines. Okay. So tie lines are data is obtained from equilibrium plot and these vertical lines are drawn for the operating line. Okay. So continue this until the XW composition is reached. Count these tie lines. These tie lines will give you the number of stages at total reflux condition. So this is the minimum number of stages, right? So at total reflux we get the minimum number of stages. So here the number of stages are 6. So we are getting 6 is the minimum number of stages at total reflux condition. What happens for the minimum reflux ratio? Reflux ratio is, as we stated, it is the line A by line B. Okay, line B is from G1 to D and A is above that. Minimum means this value is going to be the minimum. B is fixed, right? So A is minimum. Okay, that means this difference point delta D minimum we have to find out to G1 point. G1 point is over here and this delta D minimum we have to get. Okay, so that will be the minimum A value. So this is the B value that is fixed, right? To find this delta D minimum, we have to use a trial and error method to determine the tie line that passes through the feed point. Do you recall McCabe-Thiele method, how we were getting the minimum reflux ratio? The minimum reflux ratio was obtained when the enriching section operating line was intersecting with the equilibrium plot. Okay, so that was the pinch point. So at that pinch point the driving force was 0 because your operating line and equilibrium curve, they were intersecting. So the driving force was 0 there and the stages were infinite. The reflux ratio was minimum at that point. Same thing, to get the pinch point here, our operating line here, it should intersect with the equilibrium information. And this equilibrium information in enthalpy concentration diagram, they are represented as tie lines. So our tie line should coincide with the feed operating line. That will give us the minimum reflux ratio. So get this ZF point. So you will get the feed point. Now the feed point is, let us say that the feed is mixture of liquid and vapor in this case. So the feed point, it lies somewhere in between the region of Hg and Ha. Okay, saturated liquid and saturated vapor. This is the enthalpy of feed. Okay, we have to use the trial and error method here. Okay, because we do not actually know which tie line is going to pass through this feed point. This is the feed point. Okay, so somehow we have to draw a tie line that will contain this point, the feed point. So from the equilibrium plot, you get different values of y and x, and for what value of y and x this line drawn, it passes through this feed point. So that is the tie line that will give us the delta D minimum over here. Okay, so extend that line, that tie line, to get delta D minimum. Okay, so extend this line up. Okay, XD from the XD point. Okay, so this is a delta D point. We do not have actually now here. And delta D feed and this difference point delta W, they are on a line. Okay, so this is shown here just to know that in the previous delta W was here. This delta W point can be below this also. Okay, this is the feed line. We don't have it here. With this feed line, okay, one of the tie line should pass through this. Okay, this is the G1 point. This is the B. Distance between G1 and D is B. So draw a tie line by trial and error method from the getting the information from equilibrium data that passes through this feed point. Extend that tie line to this XD line. So where it intersects this XD line, that is the delta D minimum point. Okay, get this delta D minimum. So this length will be the A minimum value. So your minimum reflux ratio is A minimum by B. From your graph, just find out what is the length of this line divided by the length of this line. And in the problem, if it states that the actual reflux ratio is 2 times the minimum reflux ratio. So from this minimum reflux ratio, which is A minimum by B, you find out what is the actual reflux ratio. And using that reflux ratio, find out what will be the actual A value. Find out what is actual A value. Okay, the intersection of XD to this delta D is the actual Q dash. This is the Q dash value, and I have got my difference point delta D. Once I get my difference point delta D, extend this to this feed point and extend it further to this XW, you will get the difference point delta W. Once I have got these two difference points, we can draw the operating lines and the tie lines and find out the number of stages. So there is an alternate way of doing this. We had seen everything we did on HXY diagram. We can also incorporate our XY plot and we can find out the number of stages on XY plot. So we can use this method also, but we need one more plot along with that for finding out the number of stages. So here we will get the number of stages on XY diagram like our McCabe-Thiele method. Let us see this. So we have HXY diagram. So plot HLX, plot HGY, mark XD point, ZF point, XW point, and if our distillate is saturated liquid, feed is saturated liquid, W is saturated liquid, they will all lie on the saturated liquid line. Draw XY plot, X equal to Y line, and the equilibrium plot y star x. Okay, mark ZF point, mark XT point, mark XW point, draw from XT up one line. So mark from XT, XW, extend this XT line up to get the delta D line. So this distance from D to this distance from D to G1, this is the G1 point, this distance is B, length of line is B. Just find out what is this length. If reflux ratio is given, we are going to use this reflux ratio to find out what is the remaining length A and find out delta D point. Okay, this is B. Get this A from reflux ratio, locate delta D point. So that coordinate is Q dash HD plus QC by D. Join delta D to feed point and extend it to XW line. The intersection will give you the XW point, and it is Q double dash is the coordinate for that. So delta W. Once we have got this value Q dash and we have got Q double dash value, we know HW is this, we know HD is this, I can directly find out what is QC value, what is the condenser duty, and I can find out QB from Q dash, what is the reboiler load. So one of the advantages Poisson-Savart method is we can get the condenser and reboiler duties directly from the plot. Okay, we do not have to do further indirect calculations to get this QC and QB values. Okay, now we know that all our operating lines have got this difference point as one common point. So they start from delta D point. So in enriching section, all the operating lines will be starting from delta D, right? And in the stripping section, all the operating lines will be starting from this delta W point. All the operating lines will be starting from delta W. This is the common point for stripping section. This is the common point for enriching section. So randomly draw these operating lines from delta D and delta W. Okay. Draw some operating lines randomly. Okay. So 3 random lines, operating lines are drawn here, and 3 random lines are drawn in stripping section, these 3. Okay, you can do randomly as many lines you can draw. The more lines you draw, your operating lines which you get on YX plot will be more accurate. We know from these operating lines, this is on HGY plot, so this is the Y value, and for this Y value this is the X value, right, for the operating line. So this is Y value, this is X value for operating line, this is Y value, this is X value for operating line in stripping section. Okay, so for these Y and X values, I can actually draw the operating line on XY diagram. If I can translate these Y values here, these X values on this YX plot, I can get the operating lines on XY plot. So this is on X line, so I will drop this vertically down to X axis. This is on Y axis, so I will drop it to X equal to Y line and then take it to Y axis. So this X and Y point, they are meeting at this point. Okay, so this will be one point on operating line for enriching section. This is an enriching section, X and Y point for operating line on enriching section, right? Similarly do for the other lines. Drop this X line, can get this Y line. Okay, intersection of X and Y, this is a point on operating line. Similarly for the other line, X point, Y point. Okay, the intersection of these two is a point on operating line. Do for stripping section similarly. So x is this HLX, so drop it to x axis. This is on y, so bring it to x equal to y line and go to y axis. So this intersection is a point on stripping section operating line. So do for all these lines and get these points of x and y for the operating lines. Okay, so now I have got 3 points representing these 3 operating lines. These 3 points are for stripping section. These 3 points are for enriching section. Okay, so enriching section will start from xt. So from xt you draw one line, join these, that will give you the enriching section. Stripping section, it is from xw, draw one line from xw, join these 3 points, that will give you the stripping section operating line. Okay, so this is enriching section operating line. We can draw the steps or the stages as we did in McCabe-Thiele method and find out how many stages are required. Right? So in this method you would find that these operating lines are curved. Okay, they are curved lines. In McCabe-Thiele we had drawn a straight line for operating lines. So here these plots are curved because the slope, it varies from stage to stage, that is L by G ratio, or the flow rate of liquid, it varies from stage to stage. These are representing the actual operating lines. They represent it with better accuracy when compared to McCabe-Thiele method. Okay, so you can start your stepwise construction and find out the number of stages. You can find out how many stages are required. This will again give you the ideal stages or the theoretical stages required for this process. Continue till xw. So you will get the number of ideal stages or theoretical stages from this Ponchon-Savarot method. So you can either do it in HXY diagram or you can do it in translating all the points to XY diagram and getting the operating lines there and then drawing the stepwise construction. So both the methods can be used. So this is an exercise problem which you can try. The problem is you have a feed mixture which contains methanol 30% and the remaining water. So methanol is more volatile. So your ZF is 0.3. Distillate contains 95 mole percent methanol. XD is 0.95. Bottom products contain 96 mole percent water. Okay, so XW is 0.04. Distillate and reflux are saturated liquids. We are given that they are saturated liquid, so they will lie on saturated HL line, right? HL line on HLX plot. Enthalpy of methanol, this is given in terms of kilojoule per kilomole. It may be taken as 4800 for the liquid, 36,000 for vapor. For water, the enthalpies for liquid is 7400 and for vapor it is 46,000. It is given. Then you are given the equilibrium data. X and Y star values are given. Okay. So you have to use Ponchon-Savarot method to determine the number of stages. So we have to draw HLX and HGY plot. HLX. So X is 0.1. Okay, this is the methanol, 0.1 mole fraction of methanol. 0.9 is mole fraction of water. So 0.1 into 4800 plus 0.9 into 7400. Okay, that will give you the HL for this point. Okay, same way for HG, you will use, for this it is 0.42. 1 minus 0.42 is the other component, so 0.42 into methanol for vapor is 36,000. 1 minus 0.42 into 46,000, that will give you the HG point. Okay, so like that for all X values you find out HL values, for all Y values you find HG values, plot HLX, plot HLY. Then mark these ZF point, XD point and XW point. Okay. Then the total reflux, all operating lines are straight, vertical here. So you can do it as it is explained earlier, right? All the tie lines you will get from this XY data. So it is better that you plot XY star information as a plot, and you can find out the tie line information from that. Okay. So minimum reflux ratio you find out, and what will be the number of stages when actual reflux ratio is twice the minimum reflux ratio. Okay. So how do we get minimum reflux ratio? Minimum reflux ratio is obtained by drawing a tie line that passes through the feed point and extending it to XD line. Okay. So that will give you the minimum reflux ratio. So from minimum reflux ratio, find out the actual reflux ratio. This is 2 times this minimum reflux ratio. So we know what is the value of R there. So R is line A by line B. So B value is given, find out what is A value. Okay, that will give you the difference point delta D. Alright, so extend that delta D to F and join to a XW line, and that will give you delta W. Okay, so draw tie lines and operating lines, and you can find out the number of stages by counting the tie lines there. Okay, so you can try this exercise